Good morning, everyone. I welcome you to the Thursday, November 21st, 2024 Public Works Committee meeting. And with us this morning, I have Councilmember Althauser and myself, Councilmember Swarthout, and we're hopefully waiting on Councilmember Jefferson to join us. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from the Public Works Committee meeting from November 7th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Right. So now let's scoot into, we've got lots of service provider agreements. Thank you, Bill. I think you're up first here this morning. For service provider agreement with Pacific Testing and Inspection, on-call material testing amendment number 3.
So good morning, council members. So I'm going to try this morning. So I'm going to be presenting on these on-call contracts and then also some service provider agreement renewals. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and the plan is we have 5 of them. So my plan is to kind of go through all 5 really briefly. They're pretty standard upgrades to our contracts. And then at the end, if you have any questions, I'll answer them. And then I think we can just go through each one of the staff recommendations for all 5, and then just kind of go one to the next. I think we tried this last year and it was a little more complicated, but I think that might be a little bit easier way to do it today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If I can find it. There it is. Whoops. So can you guys, everybody see that?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, very good. The transportation service provider agreements and on-calls. The first one we'll talk about is our Pacific Testing and Inspection for on-call material testing amendment number 3. And this is a contract that we currently have in place right now. It's an on-call contract with material Pacific Testing and Inspection. We've worked with them for many years on different construction projects. They provide material testing for our construction projects. So they do asphalt, concrete, other in the field testing. And really on this one, we're just adjusting our not to exceed amount up a little bit, and then extending the agreement for another year so that we can keep them on board to provide material testing for our current construction projects. Just one note, we have 2 on-calls for material testing. We like to keep 2 firms on call for that work, mostly just due to needs, and we do utilize those on all of our roadway projects and other capital projects that we utilize throughout the year. The second on-call contract is the material testing and consulting, or MTC, and they do again material on-call work for us on different projects. Again, we've had a original contract with 2 amendments on this. We're extending the agreement date until the end of 2025 for this on-call contract, again, to keep them on board to provide that material testing for the projects that we have currently in place. The supplemental agreement number 1 for the Tierra right-of-way for X Street roundabout project. We have a project on X Street where we're going to be constructing a roundabout. Currently, we're in the right-of-way phase for that project, so we're trying to negotiate right-of-way for that roundabout. Tierra has been providing those services to support us in that work. It'll probably take us another year to finish that work because right-of-way negotiations tend to take a little bit long. And so with this one, we're just extending their original agreement until December 31st, 2026. The next one is the service provider agreement with Cardinal Architecture for the historic Brewery Tower project. This is amendment number 6. Obviously, everyone knows this project's been around for a while, trying to get through all the components of the project. So again, this is just extending an existing contract from a time limit standpoint, so their contract doesn't expire until December the 31st, 2025, because there's probably anticipated work for them to complete as 2025 progresses. That's pretty much, sorry. The service provider agreement for HDR engineering for Old Highway 99 and 79th. That's the roundabout we're designing that's part of the O&M facility. So it's kind of all integrated into one project, but we're managing this one separately with HDR. And this is the roadway design agreement and the frontage improvements and also trails and park. This one here is amendment number 1, and it extends the agreement until the end of this year. It has taken us a little bit longer to design this project just due to working through some stormwater issues and some other things, but good progress on that project will be completed early 2026 for the design. And really that's pretty much all 5 agreements. Did anything, you have any questions, or did anything come up on those 5 agreements? They're pretty standard updates that we have. And
Michael, sorry.
I'll just note that all of these are being recommended for consent.
I don't have any questions. It's all straightforward. Simple.
So my questions, I guess, would be, so we pay them, I know it may sound silly, but if they don't have any work, we still have them on, and not that they're not going to have any work to do. It sounds like you keep them pretty busy, but if perchance this year they don't have anything, they still receive the pay. Is that what you still keep them on contract that way?
For on-call contracts, we set an amount on the on-call contract. If we use them, they can charge, but if we don't use them, there's no commitment on those money. So they only, it's really an at-will on-call. We call them up, we tell them we have work. What it does for us is it allows us the ability to have them support the city without having to go through a full contractual, contract for each individual project. It really makes it pretty nimble for us to address projects as they come up. But we have a system to track their costs, and we obviously review their invoices and stuff like that.
And the only other one I had was that when you were showing this, the information for the Brew Tower, it looked like we went from 4 to 6 as far as, I'm just being sequential here, looking at the numbers that, let's see. Oh, I see. The 5th one. Okay. Sorry. It wasn't listed there. Goes until the end of this year. Okay. Got it. If I read the information you provided, Bill, thank you. So, all right. So let's see, so we need to approve those and send them to consent. So we probably should have you bring that back up again so we can read it into the minutes.
So what I've done is I have I have all 5 of them on 2 slides. So do you want me just to bring up the slide and then keep the slide up and you can go through each one, or do you want me to pull the slide down?
Okay, we'll probably defer to our attorney here. What do we need to do? How would you like this?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So they do need to be 5 different.
Okay. So I can go ahead and pull them up and read each one individually, if you like, and then I'll just go ahead and pull them up then. Okay, so the very first one that we have is for the Pacific testing for amendment number 3. So the recommended action is to place the third amendment to the service provider agreement for on-call material testing on the city council consent calendar on December 3rd, 2024, with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign.
So moved.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. So then we'll scoot down to the next one that we have. Sorry. Computer. And this one, so we have a recommended action to place the third amendment to the service provider agreement for on-call material testing on the city council consent calendar on December 3rd, 2024, with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign. Doesn't have amendment number 3 in here, so. Oh, yes, it does. Sorry. God, can't read.
So
So
moved.
moved. I'll second Angela's motion.
It's too early. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Now, moving down to item number 6. We have a recommended action to place the first supplemental agreement for the X Street roundabout with Tierra right-of-way on the city council consent calendar on December 3rd, 2024, with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign.
So moved. Angela either fell off a cliff or dropped her iPad. One of the two. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad it was the latter.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, let it not be your Apple Watch, because we'll be dispatching somebody. Did you fall? All right. And then the next one, the Brew Tower, we have a recommended action to place the 6th amendment to the service provider agreement with Cardinal Architecture for the historic brewery tower project on the city council consent calendar on December 3rd, 2024, with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign.
So moved.
And I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And last but not least, our last one here. The recommended action is to place the first amendment to the service provider agreement with HDR Engineering for the old Highway 99 and 79th Avenue roundabout project on the city council consent calendar on December 3rd, 2024, with a recommendation to approve and authorize the mayor to sign.
I so moved. Sorry.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, goodness, guys. No, we got a lot of work done.
Very, very good. Thank you. I think we hit all of them, so we got
Did
them.
we hit them all? All right. And that was a really quick one. So, is there anything else? How's it going out there?
Pretty good.
So, when are we going to have the band out to christen the street Israel Road?
Well, I'm not sure. I still need to talk to Brandon about
Oh,
that.
okay. All right. You guys are just gonna have some fun here.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So do we have any other items of business to cover? No, with that, I'm going to call the Thursday, November. Brandon, you came up.
I was just speaking in my head that we don't have additional items.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you. All right. So with that, I will call the Thursday, November 21st, 2024 Public Works Committee adjourned. Have a super day, you guys. Bye.
Right.